On today's podcast with Pastilli on 6/24/2020, Nikitta came on and spoke about a lot of things that are going on with the game, some things that are planned. So in today's video, I kind of want to just go ahead and go over most of these things and kind of hopefully bring down this hour and a half to 2 hour podcast down to hopefully 10 to 15 minutes max. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it, and I give you guys all this information. All right, so the first thing that was talked about in this podcast, Nikitta kind of came on and said that they're getting a lot of hate for a whole bunch of stuff due to the fact that they just think that a snap of the fingers fixes everything that's going on with the game right now. And Nikitta a little bit later in the podcast explained kind of what's going on and why things are not probably getting done as fast as they possibly could, but it's definitely getting to the development team mentally with the whole COVID thing going on. They're kind of split up, all working from home. They're not, a centralized team right now. It's kind of getting to all of them individually. And obviously, yes, criticism is criticism, but they had such a high influx of new players in the last 6 months. And all these new players think that the game should be this or that or this. And there's not that many veterans that are playing this. This is going to be my second year playing this, and I absolutely love the game. I think most of the stuff that they're doing is on par with what I've heard in the past, but all these new players that are coming in are kind of saying, oh, this is bullshit, so on and so forth. You're taking away this, you're doing this, the servers suck, so on and so forth, and it's just overall not great. And that's kind of what the first, I'd say 20 or 30 minutes of podcast was Nikitta kind of talking about those issues that they're running into, where they're having a lot of just shit talk on them, and they can't, anything that they say isn't going to be good enough for anybody. So that's pretty much the first 15 minutes of the podcast, 20 minutes of the podcast. Next, they talked about the server ping. And what I mean by that is the ping that we currently have is 165. It was 155. It was 195 before that. So what they're trying to do with this, and the reason that they're doing these things, is they're trying to centralize where most of the hacks are coming from. And that's why they have this ping limit, so that when you get kicked from the game, it kind of obviously is kicking you due to ping, but it also makes it so that you're not able to connect to different servers. So I know a lot of my EU friends, I usually play DC servers, and I have only that clicked for my EU buddies, but I know that Australia cannot join East Coast. So what this does is this helps centralize where most of the hackers are. So if you're getting a lot of reports of hacker on specific servers, you can see what servers those people can access and hopefully zero in on where it's coming from. So that's why they kind of have the ping limits. The thing that they talked in after that was the whole thick items case change, and the reason that they changed it. The reason that they changed this is they wanted to make sure that real money trading was not affecting the game for other people. And what I mean by real money trading is people will pay $20 for a thick items case. So the biggest thing with that is you will have people that will go into raid, get a thick items case, and drop it to somebody, or they'll put it up after someone puts a trade up. And that's why these flea market changes were just made today, or maybe it was yesterday. And they have the higher pricing because they want to make sure that these real money traders are not getting an advantage and able to just abuse the system like they've been doing. So that's why they kind of took away the thick case, and they've raised these flea market prices. So kind of crazy, but it'll work just kind of based on the fact, and the example that he gave was dry fuel, and how dry fuel is going for $150K when realistically it's not worth that much. So it's hit and miss, but it's something that they want to work on so that they can improve the game later on, and they're just trying to really slow these real world traders and the hackers as well. Nikitta talked about late spawns and how it kind of is affected with player to player sync and server sync, so that's why all these people are spawning in late. But they are also trying to deal with players that are having like lower tier machines and spawning in later. So they're working on fixing it, but they don't really have a fix for it yet. They then talked about BS in 7 and 3.9 and said that there was a double damage bug to where if it hits like your chest and your thorax at the same time and then did fracture damage, it would do double damage. So that's why that was removed from the game. They then kind of talked about how they're going to add weapon malfunctions and not just like dry fire or a jam or anything like that. They're going to add a lot of different weapon malfunctions. So I'm definitely very excited about that. And they are now going to be talking about, hopefully, a little bit about 12.7. So we should be seeing that soon. So it's a little hard to see, but they're actually showing the independent grenade launcher. This is the animation for it. I've muted the podcast, but this is pretty cool. I think that it'll be weird to have this, but they should definitely be adding different rounds to it as well. So before they talked about 12.7, they went in to talk about 12.6.2. That's due probably at the end of the week, so I would say the 25th, 26th. If not, it's going to be a max of a week out. So that's the next update. The biggest thing they mentioned was they added a quest for Prapor, and they're gonna have some fixes for that. They then went and talked about 12.7. They didn't add a release date or anything like that. Soon TM, am I right, boys? But that is gonna bring the customs update as well as the customs light changes. So in 12.6 we got light changes to interchange. It might even been 12.5. So we got lighting changes to that map. So we're now getting lighting changes to customs, which I'm pretty excited about that. They did mention a little bit about 12.8. 12.7 will have those lighting changes for custom, but they will also have the new boss. And everyone says it's Senator. I actually got corrected today because I've been saying Senator. It's actually Sanator, like hand sanitizer. It's Sanator. So that's going to be the new Scav boss, which is going to be on the Shoreline map. They then went into 12.8 and they stated that they've started working on it. They started working on it, but they are moving to the Unity 2019 engine of things. So hopefully that's going to add a lot more stability for stuff. And it's more or less going to be a pleasure update. And those were the exact words from Nikitta. So probably a lot of just overall improvements and fixes and quality of life things for that update. Slush Puppy talked about how smokes are a meme essentially, but they're kind of shit IRL, but they are working on M18s, which I think are the US smokes, and they're also working on thermite grenades as well. I don't know, it's kind of weird to me, but hey, they're also going to be adding C++ in the 12.8 update to hopefully kind of slow down the hackers a little bit, so on and so forth. I did show you guys in the last clip a underbarrel grenade launcher. I don't know when that's coming. I don't think they know when it's coming, but I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that. They definitely know that it's not 12.7 though, so maybe 12.8. Streets of Tarkov, it's too early to kind of know when we're gonna get that map. I'll probably give out updates over time. Then Pastilli asked about the skill reset. So if they do bring the updated skills on how they're going to work and how they're going to be leveled, and the ease and or difficulty of leveling certain skills does come out mid-wipe, they're probably going to reset it mid-wipe. But there's a chance that they would just wait till the 12.7 wipe or next wipe, whichever comes first. Pastilli did ask when the next wipe was. It's not soon at all, so don't expect it in the next 4 months. It'll probably continue to go on and hopefully come at some time when people want it, because I know there's a lot of new players and not everybody moves as fast as all the streamers. Pistoli then asked about the compass. Everyone laughed. So right now, compass is a big meme because they don't know when the hell it's gonna come out. Nikitta said that the Vector, the Chris Vector, is going to be coming out in the 12.8 update probably. Voice over IP or the like in-game voice chat is kind of off the table right now. It's not something they're really focusing on. They're kind of taking a step back from that, kind of thinking of what they want to do with it. They also have said that the English bear, like the broken English for the bear, has already been recorded. And Nikitta said it's not really hard to implement into the game, but we don't know when we're gonna get that. They also have a Bear 3 and a USEC 4 voice, so pretty cool. Raid episode 4, he said that it's coming. I think they're in final production of it, like they're doing all the final cuts and stuff like that from the video. So that's coming soon, which should be pretty cool. Pretty excited about that. I love those raid episodes, but he said make sure to follow their YouTube channel and turn on notifications to make sure you're notified when the premiere is going to happen. Slush, they talked about a slush puppy item, maybe a vape. I don't know. I don't really care about the streamer items. Every time I try and go for Kappa, I always get stuck on something stupid because I'm bad with grenades or bad at getting through all the maps. They then talked about Scaf Karma, and what Scaf Karma is like if you do a lot of scav on scav violence, your karma goes down and you're more likely to just be shot by any regular scav. They said that that's going to come in a scav DLC, so it's not something that's going to be coming anytime soon. They then asked about auctions because it was something that was going to be there on the flea market, but they pretty much said that the flea market right now is completely and utterly screwed, so it's not something they really want. Currently, Mosin rounds have been upped. The LPSH or whatever it is, LPS rounds, have been increased to I think like 375, up from I think they were 225 is what I want to say. Could be wrong there, but that was pretty much changed on the fly while the podcast was still happening. And then Nikitta kind of went back to the beginning where we talked about they're getting a lot of like, not, I guess it's criticism, but it's like very harsh criticism of like your game shit and it sucks and why are you doing this? Are you guys stupid? So he does say that they're very hesitant to make the game any harder than it currently is because they don't want to have to deal with that harsh criticism and all the crap talk that they get from online people that know so much about game development is kind of what he said a little earlier as well. So it's a really big bag of stuff to unpack here, but essentially they're just kind of annoyed with the whole fact that they have to deal with people that think they know stuff about something when they really don't. So that's kind of what they're going through right now, and that's what most of this podcast was about, unfortunately. So they're getting a lot of hate recently with the ghost updates. But the only reason they're even doing ghost updates is to kind of be ahead of the hackers and the IRL money sellers. But that's pretty much the end of the video. That's all they went through. I'll definitely leave a link to the podcast below to go directly to Pastili's Twitch channel. But I do want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and don't forget to clap those cheeks for all the latest news and videos from Butter Something. I'll see you guys on the next one.